Sorry for the delay this week on getting the video out. That's going to kind of lead me to my topic, but as a reminder, if you've been following my journey, then you are aware that at Fly Higher, our mission is to provide resources, tools, and scholarships for women over 30 that want to go back to school. Whether that's a first-time woman over 30 that wants to go get an associate's or go for a bachelor's, or if you're like me and you tried school at 18 or 19 years old and that never worked out and you want to go back. Whatever your reason to go back, one of the things I want to make really clear is that at Fly Higher, we support going back to school no matter how that looks for you. If that looks like it's an online program, if that looks like it's a blended program of online and on campus, or if that's going back full-blown on a campus every day and doing it full-time or part-time. As most of you know, right now I'm taking classes online, but that doesn't necessarily mean I'm a proponent of all online classes. It comes with its own challenges, and I think if you've watched any of my videos, you've probably seen some of the struggles I've had. Because when you take classes online, you're really relying a lot on yourself and your own discipline. And as I've talked about in prior videos, it can be extremely isolating. But one of the things that came up to me this week about taking online classes is how easy it can be to not get the work done. Last week we had the internet twice. Well, this was when I was in Arizona. And then I had a birthday last week, so I was completely distracted that day. And then I got on a plane on Saturday and came to Texas for a week to help a friend and family member through some medical stuff. And what I'm finding is when I'm parked somewhere for a period of time, like when I'm in Arizona, I am able to get into my routine. And what I'm noticing is, just as I'm really getting solid in my routine, and by routine I mean a lot of things, maintaining a healthy lifestyle, getting into my classes every day, getting in the mindset, working on the business, the Fly Higher activities, those sorts of things, managing all of that. It's very easy. The beauty of online classes is that you can do them anywhere. But what I'm finding and have found just over the last few months in particular, and maybe more so even this week, the last 2 weeks, last week and this week, is that the beauty of it is I can get on a plane and take my laptop and I'm there. I can do classes no matter where I'm at, even sitting at the airport. The downside to that is I struggle when I'm in certain locations with getting the work done. And I'm finding when I come to Texas on a temporary basis, meaning just for the week or for a few days, it's very, very easy for me to push school aside and say I've got plenty of time. I'll make up for it when I get to my next destination or get back to Arizona or wherever it is I'm going. And that is just one of the challenges. What you'll find on online classes is it's absolutely wonderful to fit it into your lifestyle. But you still have to make it a priority or it's not going to work. If you don't put school first and block time for that, you won't be successful and you will struggle, and those struggles will lead to frustrations. And so one of the things I wanted to point out is there might be a time or come a time that actually going to your brick and mortar university or college is more value to you. Because what it does is it takes you away from all your distractions. Yeah, you might have to scramble a little more. You've got to run home after work, and your class is at 7, and maybe you have children at home, maybe you don't, but you've got things you've got to do, or you have a spouse or a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whatever that is. When you leave that house, though, to go to your classroom at 7 o'clock at the university 3 miles down the road, you get to leave that behind. And for those next 2 hours, or for however long you choose to be at that college that evening, if your class is an hour and you decide to stay an extra hour and study, you can push those other things aside so that when you get back home, you can deal with home and work and children and whatever else you have going on. When you take online classes, you've got those classes at home with you. Unless you're disciplined enough to say, I'm not coming home until 7. I'm going to stay these extra 2 hours and work on school. But don't do it at work, because if you think you're going to log on and be focused at work for school, you're not. You're not. Even if the office is shut down and you go step into a conference room, you can't honestly say you're not going to be thinking about what the email that you could just take 3 minutes to respond to. I know this because I've done that. And when I was able to work from home, I really experienced both sides of that, because I may start working on schoolwork at 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon, but my head was still in my workspace, and I would find myself setting school aside and go, you know what, I'm going to go back into the office in my house and, answer a couple more emails so that I'm ahead of it for tomorrow, and then schoolwork would suffer. Or I would be working on something that was more interesting at work than schoolwork. I mean, let's face it, if you've watched my journey, you know the classes I didn't like. Those classes were a struggle to stay focused on because they were online, and I was accountable, but I was accountable really. When you go back to school at this age, you're accountable to yourself and the choices that you've made. But there is something to be said for showing up in a classroom with 40 other people or 30 other people and an instructor. You don't want to waste that instructor's time. And it puts you in that school setting. You're showing up, you're parking the car in the school student lot. You walk into the building, you see other students with their books out and their laptops, and they're studying and doing things. It puts you in the school mindset. So really my message today is it's so easy to get distracted. And I don't want you to think that, well, online is a great option. I don't want you to discount actually going to the university. Just because this has worked for me doesn't mean it will work for you. What I loved about starting this process online was that I was able, as a single person with a grown child and no significant other, I was able to fit one class in every semester in the beginning and see how I did, see how I liked it, see how it worked out. And because it was a community college, it was really cheap. I was able to afford it, to pay for it on my own. 1 or 2 classes works great, and it's affordable, and you can tiptoe in the shallow end and see if it's going to work, if you like the water. I loved it, and I continued to stay online because I could make that work. And for those of us that didn't go to school for any significant amount of time back in the day, I was able to knock out a lot of core classes, basics, that would have been really boring to go to in a classroom. And in many cases, a lot of the classes I've taken, because my community college is set up to allow for different types of classes and different speeds and different semesters and mini-mesters and fast track classes, or fast path, I think they call them as well, then that worked for me too, because the more confidence I built in going to school, then the more ability I had to, I'm going to slam that class out in 3 weeks. I think I can do it, which all eventually led me to just wanting to go back to school and finish it 100%. Part of this has been in my mind lately because my journey at my community college is coming to an end. If things stay on track and I can get motivated to get these few classes finished this semester, then I get to go to a university in the fall. And I have concerns about the change of it. It's exciting and it's scary all at the same time. And I wonder, my proactive mind and my over-analytical is thinking, coming in a late sophomore year, early junior year, and doing an online with a whole new platform, a whole different university, 4 full-time classes. Can I do that? And can I do that and have the flexibility to get on a plane and go somewhere when I want and still stay focused? Because right now I'm in 2 and they're a little intensive, true. But if I'm distracted at 2, there's no room for distraction moving forward. Not and run, fly higher and build that business so that we have scholarship money to give away and be on top of everything else for my own self, professionally and personally. And, maybe even get a part-time job and do some other things that support that. It's a lot going on. I may need to make a choice to stay in one spot, even though I want to do it online, but limit when I'm traveling and when I'm not, so that I can make sure that I'm focused. Or I may just have to decide by the beginning of next year that that doesn't work for me and I have to go to a campus every single day and really put then the mindset that no, this is what you're doing and you're doing it full time, go to campus. I don't have the right answer for you. I don't even have the right answer for me yet. The beauty of this process of Fly Higher, of these videos, is that I get out there what I'm thinking to give you things to think about, and it helps me to think about them too. So, there's my spiel for today. I'm a big supporter of online, but I'm a big supporter of online if it works for you, and you can make it work the way you want to go to school. One class here or there, full time. You might be a person that has no trouble saying, I'm in Brazil this week and I'm shutting down everything else but school, and you can focus totally on that. Or you might be a person that says, I'm going to just stay at mom's house and finish school and, never leave the house because when I do, I get distracted. My message from the very beginning of doing this, and I've started these videos, last June, is find what works for you. And my mission, as is Fly Higher's mission, is to just help give you as much information and resources and tools, and in the future money, to help make that happen so that you can do all the things that you want to do and change your life at any time and feel like you have a community of support. So, that's it. Probably a little longer than I wanted, but I wanted to make sure I got something out there for you all today. So, just so you all know, I am on a plane again on Saturday to go back to Phoenix for a few days, and then I leave Phoenix on Tuesday night to go to Montana for 2 weeks. Got some things I want to take care of there as far as, my looking forward to going to Montana State and some things I need to take care of. And I need the reality check that it is only 30 degrees up there today, not the warm and wonderful 50s and 60s like it's been down here in the South. So here comes my heavy coat, hat, and mittens that I don't think I've owned for years. I'm just saying. So have a wonderful rest of the week. I will do my video from Phoenix next week in the wonderful warmth and dry air before I head up north. And I look forward to hearing from you all. And let me know what you think. If you have thoughts, if you've taken classes online and you have thoughts of good and bad, please post them. The website's going to be live in just about 6 to 7 weeks, and I want to be able to put some comments out there and some pros and cons about what you've experienced. So message me, post them, put them on Facebook, let me know. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you next week. Bye.